Hi, welcome to the Catholic Corner. I'm Monsignor Walter Nolan. My guests today are two wonderful people, parishioners of Our Lady of Good Counsel Church in Moorestown, New Jersey, Lisa and Fred Baxter. They're very, very active in their parish. And they're also dedicated to a life of service to others. Just a wonderful, wonderful gift. Fred is also a retired NFL football player, which makes him a very good friend of ours because we all love football. You know, it's nice that he was drafted by the New York Jets in the 5th round in 1993. Played for the Bears and the Patriots. I kind of wish he played for the Giants a little bit, but that's okay. He's a member of the 2003 Patriots Super Bowl team. He retired as a member of the Washington Redskins in 2005. Lisa and Fred both volunteer at our Catholic charities. And Lisa has traveled to Jamaica with Our Lady of Good Counsel Parish to serve the missionaries of the poor. Gosh, it's just wonderful. Fred's also founded the Fred Baxter Foundation in 2000 to support the academic and physical development of disadvantaged youth and families through existing charities nationwide. Fred and Lisa, wow, nice you're great people. That's so nice, isn't it, to have that gift of God that you can share with others? Oh my gosh. Tell me a little bit about yourself, Fred and Lisa. Tell me maybe about your faith, you know, what kind of implants inside of you to be so generous to others?
Go ahead, dear.
Well, Fred actually has strengthened my faith because I feel that I've always gone to church, I've made my communion, confirmation, but I guess I worry about everything, and I've been told that if I worry a lot, that my faith is not where it should be. So because of that, I strive to have a more faith-filled life, and I thank God for bringing Fred into my life because he helps me in that area.
And I've been very fortunate, and I'm very thankful for everything that God has done for me. And at an early age, my mother and my father instilled in me, the principles, the spiritual principles. God died, gave His only begotten Son for my sins, and I trust that, and I believe that, and that's what I stand on. And as I walk and as I do and as I serve, I believe that He's going to take care of me. He's going to lead me in the right direction, and He's going to put His arm around me as I continue to do His work.
You know, I know, at least my thoughts for today's program are not to talk about marriage or the covenant of marriage, but you got my head going in another direction almost. But it's amazing to me the great gift of a man and a woman that in the covenant, I always say the covenant of love, not just a contract, that covenant that says, just as God said, I'll be your God and you'll be my people. This beautiful young man says, I'll always be your man, and this beautiful young woman says, I'll always be your woman. That's a great covenant to be able to take that gift and then bring it to, as God has created, you create more of each other, all that. Wonderful. God bless you. What a gift.
And I have a good one. He's a good guy.
Now, has your faith always, at times when all of us, sometimes we need it a little more than others, and you look back sometimes and say, maybe without that faith, I just maybe got another direction, or anything like that ever kind of got into your mind or your thoughts?
Oh, of course. I think we all struggle with that in times of tragedy, and I lost my father when I was 24, and my faith was tested there because you question, it's like, why my dad? And, everything becomes about you. But, the loss of my father, the loss of a grandmother, the loss of a job, there have been many times that your faith is tested, and it's at those times that you have to really focus more, if anything. You realize that there are so many people that are in worse circumstances, and you just... I find that my peace comes with helping others. So.
Sure. Fred, and yourself?
Well, I have the same feelings that my wife has, but just growing up, in Alabama, and coming from a single-parent household, wondering why my friends have and I don't have, and mother sitting down and explaining to me and giving me, the understanding that they have both parents in the house, and they're able to have that discretionary funds to do things and outside activities. And I'm providing the basic necessities for you and my siblings, and then I just continue to just stand on that. Her work ethic, that fills me with faith. That everything's going to be all right. You have a caring God that loves you and that cares for you. What I can't provide for you, He's not going to put nothing on you that you can't bear. There's steadfastness, and just keep working and just keep believing.
It seems to me that when I think and hear you talking and I ponder things, you look back and you say, now I understand. Somehow or other there's a strength that comes in different directions. Sometimes it's when even God calls someone home. I always look and say, the whole world to me, when we talk about our faith, He died, rose. I think it's all part of that. We die a little bit and we rise again. Somehow it's always looking forward to. When I was in high school, I wasn't the greatest study of English and poetry and all that, but I used to like these poems about athletes or boxers and things. And it was a poem by Damon Runyon. It was called "Up Again, Down Again." It was about a boxer, and he got knocked down, got up, got knocked down, got up. And that always stuck to me. And I said, that's the Lord. You get down, you get up. And I think that's true. When we lose somebody, you say, okay, we gotta do more. You get that strength from a mom, and you see how it can affect your relationship. Somehow or other, He's always there, molding us a little bit, forming us a little bit, and then we are who we are, which is a great gift, isn't it? God bless you. Oh my God.
Always there.
Fred, you're an NFL football player. I can tell. I mean, just when I shook your hand before, I said, "Oh man, this man's a strong man." But tell me a little bit about the experience, and I always feel, athletes are special people. They're not all saints, but I think there's something inside of them that many of them are very, very beautiful, prayerful, spiritual people. And tell me a little experience about that, maybe in your life or with others.
As I stated earlier, Monsignor, I was very fortunate. I played in the NFL. Not only did I play in the NFL, I played in the NFL for 12 years. The life expectancy of a football player is 3.5 years. Mm-hmm. So on that aspect of it, I'm very fortunate. And then having an experience in the NFL, it got me the exposure. It put me on a platform where now I have been filled with, with godly principles at a young age. Now that platform entails me to come and give back to a community and communities that was very inspirational in my molding of who I am today. And being in the NFL and coming in contact with young men that has the aspirations of playing in the NFL, letting them know the real story. Mm-hmm. Everyone is not going to be an NFL player, but if you empower yourself and get a sound education, that's the key, and give back to the community. That's very important in your life.
That's the difference to me, Fred and Lisa, between a contract kind of living and the covenant kind of living. When you just take your gifts and want to bring them out to someone else, and especially when it's done in a love relationship. That's just a wonderful gift. Tell me a little about your involvement in your parish, and the things you're doing and the things you're making, so beautiful for other people.
Go ahead, dear.
Well, I was a Eucharistic minister, and I'm not as active with that as I used to be, because 2012 brought about a lot of busy change. But 2013, I plan to resume that. I love my church. Yeah. I love everything about it. I love Father Damien and Linda Dix, who's very involved with everything there. I don't know where she gets the energy. She's awesome. I inspire to be like her. She is amazing. So I just love everything about our church, and I try to involve myself wherever possible.
Well, Father Damien I know well. Tell him I said hello, in fact. I mean, and Linda, they are great people, and they're just wonderful for not only your parish, but for our diocese, Fred, and yourself, how are you involved in the parish?
I am an usher, and I serve, and as like Lisa, in 2012 brought a change in my schedule, and that part of my life I had to reorganize, and now we are pushing forward. I work with Dr. Linda Dix, with the religious education with the kids every summer. The past couple summers I was speaking there with the kids, getting the religious instructions from Dr. Dix, and also with the golf outing with the Knights of Columbus. I worked with the group there doing, giving the service and also playing a little golf. Something that I'm taking up now, a habit.
Not so bad. It's not a bad little activity. I've done that a little bit myself.
He loves the golf now. It's his new
Terrific.
passion.
And wherever the church needs me to serve, giving my testimony and helping out, I'm very in my passion, in my walk in life. I like to serve.
But you're both so busy. I mean, you're busy with your professions also. And now I understand you're coaching.
Yes, I'm coaching at Widener University. I'm coaching the special teams and the tight ends, and also with the civic engagement, going out in the community there in Chester and trying to influence those individuals, those families, about the university, inform them about the university, and get them involved and show them a part of the service that the university is reaching out into that city.
See, I love to hear when you were talking and saying like a Eucharistic minister. I always have this vision that the Eucharist, which is such a precious gift to us as Catholic Christians, but the Eucharist is kind of like taking the spiritual food in so we can bring it out, whether it's on a football field or your profession of bringing people some goods and services, and then you take that and bring it back to the table of the Lord, and it just seems like that's the way we are meant to be, and that's the way we're living. How about your family, Fred? You have some children?
Yes, I have a daughter, Brittany, and I have a son,
yeah.
Kellen. Brittany, she's in that transition now. She's a senior in high school, making that independent move.
Terrific, isn't it?
So, an outstanding student. Very proud of her. Terrific work ethic. Love her to death. She sometimes, get kind of grown for her age, but I explained to her, as long as she do what she's supposed to do, especially in the classroom and in the community, I'll support her 100%, and she's an outstanding student. My son, he's a little athlete. Kellen, he loved basketball and baseball. Haven't introduced him to football yet. He outstanding student in school. So we just try to instill him to the morals that my family, my mother, and my father instilled in me. In them, just make them be responsible, respectful, and have a great work ethic. Anything you want to be in life, you can be, as long as you put forth the effort.
And knowing of your love together, I mean, that's a great gift that the children can see and witness and be part of, and that's nice. That's also a very blessing. Lisa, I know you do a little missionary work.
Yes.
Boy, oh boy, what do you have, like 40 hours a day or something?
We squeeze the time. That's why I said, compared to what Linda Dix does, I'm just a little drop in the pond. But I enjoy it. The mission trip is probably the most fulfilling thing I think I do in my life. And where I think they do a lot more for me than I do for them. I give basic care and services. I shave faces, clip nails, put lotion on people.
Where do you do this? Or how do you go about doing
In
this?
Kingston, Jamaica.
Jamaica. Wow.
And I love it. The program, the trip is led by Dr. Bertinoli, and he typically takes med students and, it's doctors that participate. I'm one of the very few people that participate in the trip that's not a doctor or a med student, but I love it. We go there, we offer service, we work in the community, we stay with the Franciscan sisters, and I love them too. I enjoy my time with them, and I look forward to the trip to see them. And like I said, I get more out of it than I give, I think, but it's probably the most fulfilling thing. And we do other things. We're on the boards of local nonprofits, and we're both very active. Fred's very active with Junior Achievement, and we're both active with Community Treatment Solutions, which provides services for children throughout the state of New Jersey, that are neglected, abandoned, abused. So, those are also passions that we have. We give back. I'm glad I was able to meet a man that has passion for service as much as I do, or more.
Isn't there something about the giving back that just enhances, you almost get back yourself? I mean, you get filled up with a joy and a peace, and then you want to do more, and somehow or that's, I guess that's the way love is, you know? The more you get, the more you want to give, and the more you give, the more it just keeps happening that way.
Yes, I mean, that's expected of me, you know, because God has given me so much in my life and inspired my life and gave me my dreams and hopes, and it's only right for me to give that back to another person for them to do the same. So I absolutely enjoy seeing another person smile and be happy and receive, you know, opportunities and gifts that they thought they normally couldn't receive, but some kind of way things happen and they have the joy and the fulfillment of their hearts. That's a feeling that you can't describe.
No,
know.
you can't. I often wonder why the whole world doesn't just, why does the whole world do this? We could easily live together as brothers and sisters and help no matter where we go or what we do. It's just marvelous. Now, is this Jamaica something, Lisa, that happens once a year? Or?
Once a year.
I see.
And I've been
and
doing
does the doctor go more than once a year, or is it
Doctor goes once a year.
Uh-huh.
I think there have been times, though, I think Linda Dix has gone more than once a year because she's involved with, the primary school there. I think they twin with a school in Jamaica. So I did get a chance to experience that as well. You know, I honed in on her little outing. She moved from the group to go do that, and I said, "Can I go with you?" So to be a part of that, and I enjoyed that, and service is a part of who I am. It didn't start out, some grand gesture or some innate thing. It was a little selfishly driven, and my brother was in a heap of trouble, 30 years ago. And I prayed and thought I was making a deal. Like, God, if you spare him and get him out of this circumstance, I promise I'll dedicate my life to service. And I did. He did, and I did. So he came out of his issue, and I started the service. So I was in my early 20s, and I just never stopped from there. Because, first of all, you can't, I was making the deal, so I didn't think I could break it, and it just became a part of who I am, so.
Fred, you have a foundation?
Yes, I do.
Wow, that's awesome.
I started my foundation in 2000, working with churches back in my home state, Alabama, just helping them in more like the youth ministry, the kids, motivating the kids, speaking to the kids, helping them with their schoolwork, and so also helping the churches with the building fund of renovations and whatever I can do, because the church was my rock, where everything started, where you're talking about learning how to get up in front of people and speak, learning the order of service. That's where the fundamentals in my foundation started. And as I continue to evolve, now I'm working with disadvantaged families and their children, of just trying to provide the necessities like someone provided for me when I was growing up, a mentor, of having a safe haven. Sports was my safe haven, of using that platform, sports, of trying to give these kids an opportunity to explore their gifts, give them opportunity to be successful as I was successful growing up as a kid.
Does this foundation keep growing? I mean, is it still down in Alabama, or is it up here? How is
it's nationwide. It's in
nationwide.
Alabama. Yes, sir. It's in Alabama, New Jersey, New York, wherever I played, the cities I played in. Like when I was in Chicago, I worked with the homeless shelter there in Chicago, of providing families with foods. And in New York, I have a good friend of mine that needed a kidney transplant. We worked in conjunction with him to help him get a kidney transplant. We did little fundraisers, and here in New Jersey, when I moved to New Jersey, I got very involved with the Catholic Charities, going over to Catholic Charities, volunteering, handing out food, picking up food, Christmas toys for the families there in Delanco, New Jersey. The Catholic Charities where I got started of doing service. And just trying to just give back, just give back to a community regardless of where it is, because I feel like, the platform that I played on in the National Football League, some of these people saw me play. They supported me. They gave me the drive to go out and do the best that I could do when I was playing football. Now I'm in a position where I can serve. Now I want to come and try to help and give them also the support to get them a better quality of life.
Those who you've helped, has it come back a little bit to where sometimes just, someone you helped comes back and says, how can I help you? How can I be part of the foundation? Or how does the foundation grow?
Yes, it grows. Like in Alabama now, we are creating a baseball academy with a good friend of mine, Gary Huffman, that we're taking inner city kids, African American kids, and introducing them to baseball. But the criteria to participate in the program, you got to have a 3.2 grade point average or higher to participate. Just trying to promote the sport and also the disciplines that's associated with the sport to give these kids the opportunity to be successful in school and in life.
Where were you when I was a kid? Isn't that marvelous, Lisa? No wonder you love him so much.
I do. I love him very much. And I'm happy that the foundation we want it to grow and become even larger than it is. And I think that is the goal for 2013 also, to work more on that and to, hopefully be able to get to a point where we could employ some people, because right now we do everything. We have some people in different places that assist with the various programs. If we're doing a fundraiser, we can recruit people for those activities, but we are ultimately, the goal is to get it large enough that we can, partner with certain organizations, and build a staff and really do more. I want to do more.
I'm sure Catholic Charities would love to share some of their hopes and dreams along with your hopes and dreams. That would be a marvelous gift to everybody. So you're looking out there to maybe raise some more money for your foundation, or to see how that foundation can be part of other states?
Yes.
Yes.
Terrific.
Yes, we are. And it's a process. I just don't want the foundation just to partner with any, the mission and the love and the care and the funds have to go directly to the families. My foundation, I give 100% of the monies that I raise to families.
Right.
And there's not really an organization out there that's really doing that. And I feel, God has truly blessed me and my wife, to have a great living, live comfortable, and the monies that I use my foundation that come in, and when people give me monies to come in my foundation, not only they giving money to a worthy cause, but they're giving money, 100% of that money is going to these families and helping these families to have a better quality of life. And there's not one that I know of organization that's giving 100% of the proceeds to these families.
Yeah,
We take no money, no salary, nothing out of it. Every penny that we receive, sometimes when we get someone who's willing to make a large donation, oftentimes we will have them make it directly to like a CTS or a Catholic Charities or someone, just so that, the whole entire amount goes to the organization. We don't keep a penny.
Yeah, and for the last, 12 years, the bulk of the donations come from my personal money.
Yeah.
That I donate my personal money to these families and make sure, if they call and they need something, and say, for instance, I'm working with another existing organization, I go out and be that spokesperson for those families and get the money and bring it to them, the organization.
It might be a marvelous gift, though, somehow, if it does expand, because you're doing such great work for especially children. I'm even proud to say hello to you today. Whenever we can help kids, grow in many different ways, it's really, really a blessing, and I always think of that, you fed me, you clothed me. When do we ever do that? Well, you do it when this little youngster comes, you might even know their name, but you're creating, because we are citizens of the kingdom of God, and that's a wonderful, what a blessing. Your faith keeps growing.
Yes, every day, and it's just, God, he's sending me confirmation just to continue to move forward because of the things that he could keep giving to me. He keep giving me, I keep giving. He keep giving, I keep giving.
I was going to say you're older and wiser, but you're still young. I think you're still kids, but what when you talk, you know, to other youngsters and things of that nature, what do you tell them? I mean, how do you inspire them to want to be like yourselves in a way? You know, just.
I leave it to him. He does all the inspiring. I'm kind of the behind the scenes person. I don't feel as comfortable in this environment as he does. He's the extrovert.
But my wife, she's my biggest motivator, and before I speak to any kid or any organization or any congregation, I always let them know that my wife, you know, was the best thing that ever happened to me. And with saying that, then I move into the whole empowering. You know, she empowered me to go back to school and get my degree. When I left college early at Auburn, and I pursued the NFL. I played 12 years in the NFL, and like the majority of my colleagues, injury happened, and then that caused my career to end. And me going out into the community and telling these young kids to get their great education and doing this, and me not having mine, I feel like I was being a disservice. Sure. So that's the first thing of order I did when I finished retired from football. Went back to Auburn, got my degree, and now education is my whole push when I talk to young kids. The importance of education and how you looking to play sports and being sports as a vehicle. Education is the foundation to get you to that point, because like I said, you can go and walk and step on a curb, break your ankle, and it's all over. But you have that education to fall back on, then that lasts a lifetime. And you can go through any doors with the proper preparedness with the professionalism, the education, and the knowledge and the know-how to get a job, to be successful. So that's my spiel when I speak to young kids about the importance of education and using sports, which was my opportunity, as a vehicle to get you to that point.
And you start every week with the Eucharist.
Yes.
Yes.
And the Eucharist gives you the strength to keep going and sharing, and with love and peace and all of God's blessings. And it just sounds to me that, you know, your life, your love is that covenant that we spoke about at the very beginning. Fred and Lisa, you're marvelous people. You're saints. That means that's good stuff. No. See, sanctity is living what God wants you to do and bringing it to, and then sharing it with everybody. That's keep up the great work. Aren't they marvelous? And your folks are marvelous. But you know what? The marvel comes from giving back to the community, giving back to the children. Bless you. Keep us in your prayer as we keep you in ours. Well, thank you both very much.
Thank you.